What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, Josh. What's up, Josh?
Hey, let's go!
I'm excited. The man behind Start, Sits, and Salutations himself. We know you guys already love him. Joey Wright, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me on. This is a blast.
Having you on. You're a part of the fam. You're welcome on whenever you want. Guys, also joining us today, though, is I don't know what to say. I'm just kidding. He's a great friend of the show. You can find him on Twitter at jwall_ff. He is the founder of 360 Fantasy, which you guys need to go check out on YouTube. They're at 360 Fantasy on YouTube. J-Wall, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to beat all of you.
Yeah, right. You're losing this one today,
I forgot to ask
J-Wall.
you guys. I was a little thrown off, but specifically J-Wall, are you ready to lose?
What?
You ready to lose? You ready? All right, he's ready to lose. All right, let's go.
J-Wall in here said, if you ain't first, you're last. Well, you're going to be last, bud. John Luke saying, howdy. What's up, JL? And Scott saying, I have won 100% of the Fantasy Fortune shows I have been on. Has he been on a Fantasy Fortune?
I want to say he has, and it was probably once.
What's up, JR? Welcome in, and bam, glad to have you here. Jason, Simon, you look dapper. I'm doing my best Josh impersonation, but I'm really bad at tying regular ties, so it's a bow tie instead. And I'm self-conscious about my receding hairline, so I'm wearing a hat still anyways. What's up, Midnight? Welcome in to Good Afternoon, fellas. And Albert saying, good afternoon, FYF. Glad to have you guys here, Midnight and Albert. Bam said, Aaron has a fractured toe, but he's going to play through it. I thought I heard it was COVID toe. Isn't that what he said it was? Is that going on? But hopefully that doesn't limit him too much. Carlos said, I feel underdressed. I mean, don't worry. J-Wall's wearing an Ohio State quarter zip, so you can't be more underdressed than that. So I think you're fine over there, Carlos. As long as you're not wearing like a full Ohio State onesie or morph suit or something, you're probably better dressed. Scott Fish said, I'm starting a new fantasy site called 180 Fantasy. We are half as good and never look back.
That's a good joke.
It can't be worse, Scott. It can't be worse.
Well, it's going to have to be half as good. And Scott said 1-for-1 on Fantasy Fortune. And JB Cho, what's up? Welcome in. He said, is it a clip-on? Hell no, this isn't a clip-on. What do you think I am, a scrub? I'm tying my own bow tie. Bam wants to know, is that a KD ornament? I believe that's Tim Duncan, right, J-Wall? That's what you said?
And then we got Derek Jeter. And then right here we got Grant Hill. And then Mr. Incredible, of course. And
Fitting
then
in with all the other athletes.
The Ohio State Santa, So
this is J-Wall's dream team. If he got to put together a dream team for a basketball tournament, it would be Derek Jeter, Santa, Mr. Incredible, Tim Duncan, and I forgot who the last guy was.
I have a question about Ohio State Santa.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Does he just never deliver?
He only delivers championships. So.
Does it take him 4 tries to beat Clemson?
Yeah.
just kidding. He probably doesn't deliver presents to the Clemson fans from my interaction with Ohio State fans out there. Come here now, Beach89 said, Oklahoma greater than Ohio State. I promise we'll stop crapping on you, J-Wall. It's Thanksgiving, which means
I'm used to it.
My family is more in mind right now, and they're all Ohio State fans. But yeah, Ohio State's better than Oklahoma this year. That offense is looking terrifying, like truly terrifying. Guys, before we get started with the game,
Oklahoma's going to lose this week, by the way.
I think so too. And Ohio State's probably going to beat Michigan by 400. But we'll see what happens. Jay says, can J-Wall move the camera towards the tree? I'd rather look at that than the ugly Ohio State. He's piling on J-Wall right now. He's going to take it out on you guys during the game is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's going to get up by 10,000 in the game, and then all this shit talk's going to look bad. Before we get started, guys, a couple reminders. One, if you are watching this, that means you are already on our YouTube or Twitch channels. Go ahead and hit the like button on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy. It is the easiest way to show your support for this show. And J-Wall can attest, if you subscribe, you might get trapped in there. And while you're at it, head over to J-Wall's YouTube channel at 360 Fantasy and subscribe over there too.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
Also, come here now. You upset him, said, wow, Williams going to throw 8 touchdowns because of that, Josh. So they're calling you.
I'm telling you, I think Oklahoma State's got it.
Josh, do you have some news for us today before we get started with our game?
I absolutely do. There's quite a bit of, practicing, not practicing. We still have to keep up with these reports. But for the games coming up tomorrow, this is pretty significant, right? Ezekiel, they came out and said that he can play through his knee injury. So he's got a little bit of a knee injury, but it does appear like he is going to be starting and playing. So there's really no concern there. Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown are practicing today. Good news for the Ravens as a whole. Great news for Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown managers and fantasy. You're starting them in your lineup if they're playing, right, guys?
Yep.
Absolutely.
This is a bit of a surprise. Aaron Jones is practicing today. I think it was most people assume that AJ Dillon was locked and loaded starter for 2 weeks because the Packers don't have a bye this week, but the week after, I believe. So a lot of people thought they were going to wait until they bye. That could still be the case. But if Aaron Jones is practicing, does anyone have confidence putting AJ Dillon into their lineup still?
I mean, I think we'll know before the game whether Aaron Jones is playing or not.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely. But what if he does play? Can you play AJ Dillon?
You downgrade him. He goes from an RB1 to a flex, and it's a big drop off, but he's still flex worthy at that point in my eyes.
I completely agree with Simon. Does anyone disagree?
No, I mean, they got the Rams, so.
Mm-hmm. Jared Goff is questionable for tomorrow. Obviously, I don't even know if he's that. He's an improvement for the weapons, I would say.
Tim Boyle on Thanksgiving.
Darnell Mooney was limited in practice. Marcus Goodwin is questionable for tomorrow, and Allen Robinson is doubtful. So I think Darnell Mooney will play. Yeah, the rest of them, I'm not so sure about. Who the hell
else is going to catch the ball there? Poor Andy Dalton.
Exactly.
He's just getting thrown.
Maybe no one, Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney did not practice today. Saquon Barkley was limited. Got to keep an eye on this for the Giants game. Keep moving on here. Jarvis Landry and Donovan Peoples-Jones did not practice today. Again, got to keep an eye on those. Again, keep in mind, everyone, Wednesday is the typical rest day for veterans, so some of these could just be rest days. Mike Evans did not practice today. Antonio Brown was seen at practice, but I believe it was a limited practice. This is more or less what we saw last week. Keep an eye on Mike Evans, obviously. Logan Thomas practiced today. Curtis Samuel's limited. Ricky Seals-Jones did not practice. It looks like Logan Thomas is ready to go for this week. Curtis Samuel scares the crap out of me personally. Anyone think that you should be adding Curtis Samuel off the waiver wire if he's there?
No, there's other waiver wire wide receivers that I feel comfortable with that I don't have these question marks about.
Logan Thomas, though, I have picked up in a bunch of leagues because he was cut. Mm-hmm. And that football team schedule rest of the season for tight ends is immaculate. So if he's there, go grab him. Because you could even flex him if you need to. So
yeah, I think he kind of once he's playing, I put him right next to the Pat Freiermuth of the world, probably in my mind. So that's a pretty good tight end. If Pat Freiermuth is a free agent, I'm sure you'd be picking him up. Kareem Hunt expects to play this week, Simon.
Yes.
Hey, you're still starting Nick Chubb. You could probably drop Dearness Johnson if you need roster space. I would be.
Yep.
Cordell Patterson at practice today. Great news for him. CeeDee Lamb is practicing today as well. Hey, it looks good for him. Looks good like he might be. He's probably going to play tomorrow. He still has to fully pass the concussion for him.
We needed him for Thanksgiving football. Like without him and without I say without Jared, with Tim Boyle, no CeeDee Lamb. Like it was just going to be a weird day of games if I agree if he was out as well.
And just to put a little bit of, we were talking about this yesterday, but Dak Prescott, without all his weapons, we were a little bit concerned starting him. If CeeDee Lamb's playing, you feel a lot more comfortable playing Dak Prescott.
Yep, I know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know the O-line is probably still a little bit beat up. I don't know if we have news on that tackle that was out last week, but I still have confidence with Dak.
Yeah. Cole Beasley, full practice today. Devontae Parker not ready to return. And Ezekiel Elliott, he can play through his injury, like I said. And that's everything for today.
Nice. Guys, we've got a question in here to start it out, and I want to remind everyone right after this at 4:15 Eastern time, we will have some of the crew over there answering questions for fantasy football office hours. So make sure you stop by over there and bring all of your questions. We'll be answering some throughout the show today, but any and everything you need to know the answer to, whether it's fantasy football or Thanksgiving side dishes, we'll answer your questions you've got over in office hours today. Bam says, if Kamara is out, do I start Moss or Latavius? Bad choices, but it's what I got. So J-Wall, which of those two players would you be starting, Zach Moss or Latavius Murray?
It's a brutal question.
It's a brutal question. Latavius Murray and the Ravens are playing the Browns, and Zach Moss, they're playing tomorrow against the Saints.
Ugh. I think I'm going to go Latavius just because I don't know, man. I think you could really go either way. I think I'd just go Latavius just because.
I think the upside's probably a little bit higher with Latavius. While I expect this to be bad for both of them. There's a world where Latavius suddenly gets more carries than Freeman coming back into this offense, and I'll take the shot on that world. Joey, what do you think here?
Yeah, I have him back-to-back in my rankings. And I actually have Moss one spot ahead, but I don't like that New Orleans matchup. And I've had a rough time with Breida coming into the picture with the Bills. It's tough to predict who's going to be that running back every week. So I would probably go Murray.
Yeah, I would probably also go Murray. Even though I kind of disagree. I think Moss has a little bit more upside just because I don't know. I think he could get the goal line carries.
That's fair.
Latavius Murray could too as well, but
these are two very messy backfields, Bam. Yeah. That makes this a really hard question. But it sounds like all of us would go Latavius, but it's rough sledding. JR said Jail looks much different when he doesn't shave. Yeah, whichever one you're referring to. Definitely, he looks different down there.
And real fast, back to the Latavius Murray thing. That was his first week back last week, so maybe it's just him getting more and more involved in the offense, and he does get more carries going into this week. So just to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
JV Cho saying my bear is so sad, and then it said, "Who needs turkey? Give me the lamb."
yes, that was actually great.
That is great. Ooh, my papa used to make a rack of lamb on some Thanksgivings. That was so good.
Lamb has to be cooked well because you can screw it up and it's not going to be the same. But what lamb cooked well?
Oh, he used to kill it right there. Shout out Papa on that one. Maria wants to know, hey, anyone got any movies I can borrow? Do you guys know anyone? Joey, do you know anyone who has any movies? No. Sorry, Maria. We'll keep looking.
Just for a second. Films, Maria.
Dan said, I'm just here waiting for the Fantasy Fortune Tournament of Champions. Yep, one day, Dan.
You'll be part of it, Dan. You'll be part of it for sure.
And Joey, just a random question. Do you have a collection of completely irrelevant, no longer useful HD DVDs? Did you get into HD DVDs?
No, I could go into a very long story. I'll give the short end of it. I was the movie and music manager at Barnes & Noble at that time, and I had to make a pivot. I had to make a decision for our store. And Disney had just said, we're going with Blu-ray. And I'm like, okay, we're going with Blu-ray. Because if Disney's going that way, I feel, because at that time it was only Warner Brothers had gone with HD DVD.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just remember
I
had friends who started building out a collection, and then all of a sudden HD DVD didn't exist anymore. Scott said, man, they said they want to get Breida more work, and no Bills running back has had more than 8 carries since week 5. That splitting is crushing. Yeah, it is absolutely terrifying there. Guys, I think we go ahead and get started with our game today. We will keep answering questions throughout.
Dennis Stephen in the chat here. Thank you for the kind words. Josh and Simon, I know you have bad days as everyone else, but I almost can't imagine as you guys have such a genuine positive energy every show. My mood always improves ASAP when I see you keep it 100. Thank you. Oh, my Lord.
Kind
words. Thank you.
To be 100% honest, I come in here having a bad day semi-regularly.
We talk about it all the time.
And these guys and you guys in the chat truly brighten my day on a regular basis. I will feel uplifted. I'll come in here grumpy and leave the show happy. So I appreciate you guys as well. Man, I'm about to cry.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
Making me emotional on a Wednesday. Sorry for saying asshole, Grandma. Because Grandma's watching and she loved the shout out for Papa. Hi, Grandma. Guys, let's go ahead and get started with our game for today. Let me go ahead and pull up the game board. We determined the order before the show, and I believe, Josh, we determined you were going first, Joey is going second, and Jay Wall is going third. Josh, you want to run us through how this game works real quick for everyone before we start playing?
Absolutely. This is much like the popular television game show Wheel of Fortune. However, we call it Fantasy Fortune. We got rid of the wheel. There will be no wheel we are spinning. Instead of spinning, contestants will be asked simple football-related questions that Simon will be asking Joey, Jay, and I today. You will be expected to answer the question quickly. If you get the question right, you get to guess a letter for the puzzle. You will be rewarded $500 for each consonant you get right. Vowels will cost $100 each if you want to buy them. If you guess anything wrong, we move on to the next contestant. If it's your turn and you think you can solve the puzzle, go ahead. You could just got to say exactly what's up there, all right? And today, we're continuing our rule. If you answer 3 questions in a row correctly, if you get 3 letters in a row correctly as well with those 3 questions, you will get to bank your money. It will be locked in for the game, and we will move on to the next person if you can't solve the puzzle. Whoever collects the most money over the course of the game will be our champion today. Let's go. It will be me.
Josh coming in with confidence saying he's going to be the champion today.
Oh, it's me.
Polar Knight saying, sweet Jesus, it is the perfect evolution of beards. It is the perfect evolution of beards right here.
Yeah.
Let's mix up this order here. Josh, I'm going to put you on the bottom, but you are going first. Okay. Josh is going to go first, Joey second, and then Jay Wall. We had to cover someone's face, Josh. Sorry. What was coming in? So let me load up this first puzzle for you guys. And Josh has set the precedent. We always start with an NFL player. Yes, and sir. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. I changed the background. Josh, did you see there was there's a stadium option? I thought we were doing sports. I picked the stadium option. So that's what's going on in the background. Josh, we are going to come to you with the first question. Are you ready?
Let's do it. And when we first started playing Wheel of Fortune, I was trying to decide which background I like. I forgot you could change it, though. I went with the other one because I felt like it kind of fit our vibe a little bit, but I love this too. Let's go.
Okay, Josh, my question for you is in a PPR league, who has more total points on the season so far? Who has more total points on the season so far? Is it Patrick Mahomes or is it Austin Eckler?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is correct. He's got 240.3 to Austin Eckler's 220.8.
Let's go.
So Patrick Mahomes ahead by 20 points in that one. Which letter would you like, Josh?
Give me an R.
A reminder to you guys, out of the chat. Get into the private chat on this one.
Yeah.
And you want an R?
Yeah.
An R. There are 3 R's, Josh, in this puzzle. Let me go ahead and add that money to your account.
Okay.
Oops. There we go. $1,500. Josh, what would you like to do? Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like another question?
Let me buy an E.
An E for Joshua. There are 2 E's, so that'll be minus 200 from your puzzle, from your total. What would you like to do, Josh?
Give me another question.
Okay, Josh, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Was it Tyler Lockett or was it Devonta Smith?
PPR fantasy points, Tyler Lockett or Devonta Smith? I'm trying to remember Tyler Lockett's. I'll go with Devonta Smith.
I'm sorry, Josh. It was Tyler Lockett with 15.5 to Devonta Smith's 10.1 this week. That is incorrect, which means we are moving on to Joey. Hopefully, J-Wall gets back in time for his turn here.
Joey,
he
wouldn't miss his turn.
Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I don't have any money, but I get something if I solve it.
You get $1,000. Yeah.
I'd like to solve.
Okay.
It's Darren Waller.
Hey,
it is Darren Waller. And Joey, you are going to bank $1,000 with that correct answer. And J-Wall's back. He made it. What's up, J-Wall? Just in time to see Joey win $1,000 here. Let's see.
And it's real money too, which is the best part, right?
Midnight got it so early on this one. Nice job, Midnight. Dynasty Griff got it. JB Cho agreeing. And Carl saying, hot damn, Midnight, without any letters, just came in and got it right off the bat.
Let's go.
Eric got it as well. Looks like a lot of people got this one correct. Nice job on this one, guys. Joey, we'll come to you on this. So Darren Waller has been a bit of a disappointment based on where people drafted him and that week 1 performance where he got 19 targets, I believe. It was something preposterous. Do you still view Darren Waller as the number 2 tight end rest of season, or are there a couple guys ahead of him now?
So I probably would still view him as the number 2. I do like Las Vegas' schedule going forth for the tight end and for Derek Carr. And I know Carr has really disappointed in the last couple of weeks when his matchups have been good, but it continues just to get better for him. And, they've lost a few players, and I do feel like they're going to get it back, especially this week against Dallas. So,
J-Wall, do you agree with Joey on that take?
Yeah, I'm a big Darren Waller guy. I know it's kind of been a weird landscape for just tight ends in general, like, the Kittles of the world and whatnot. And I mean, there's just guys that you just have to trust just because they are like top 3 options when they are healthy. And yeah, they're going to bust sometimes, but more often than not, they'll do well.
I agree with you on that one. Guys, before we move on to our next puzzle, we had a couple questions in the chat I want to get to. Aiden said, would you start A.J. Brown versus the Patriots or Darnell Mooney versus Detroit? A.J. Brown for me.
Yeah, it's still got to be A.J. Brown. Patriots take away the best option. A.J. Brown's a little bit banged up, but I couldn't do it. I could not bench A.J. Brown for Darnell Mooney.
Yep.
Yeah, not a chance I could either.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Craig said, I'm glad that this was going when I showed up. I can't hold up forever. Even J-Walls fall down. Yes, even J-Walls fall down. Javen said, I'm 11-0 on vacation and Front Yard Fantasy is live. Life is good.
Woo!
Nice.
Yes.
That's a good day, Javen. That's awesome. Also, and JB Cho almost so close with Baron Baller.
I just realized something. We play each other, I believe, in our league. We're in together this week, don't we?
Who? You and Javen?
No, J-Wall and I.
Oh, J-Wall.
Yeah,
I was like,
and you're on a 6-game win streak. I'm on a 5-game win streak.
I know. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose. My luck is gonna run out.
I'm fine with that.
I almost took J-Wall down with the most pathetic team that anyone's ever started in a fantasy football league.
And then the week after, last week, you almost took me down.
Yeah, no. my team is just teasing with all these players in there. Like it's getting bad. The worst part was I started this was a different league, but this is how my week went in general. I started Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott. No, that's that league. Ben Roethlisberger and Taylor Heinicke on my bench would have been the better quarterback options over Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott.
Team
I would have won.
Simon. It's a dynasty league, and you have so many injuries. Like, it is what it is.
It's bad. Are you guys ready for our next puzzle? J-Wall's going to go first on this one. Okay.
He was born ready.
This category is same college and NFL team. So just to clarify, they did not have to be at the college at the same time. They may have been, but they don't have to be. But these are players that are on the same NFL team and went to the same college.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is a new category.
This is a new category. I wanted to try it out here. So J-Wall, we're coming to you first. Do you want to solve or do you want
getting out of
question?
The chat?
Yeah, not a chance I'm solving this. So
getting out of the chat.
Not a chance you're solving it. Yeah, make sure you guys are out of the chat here. J-Wall, my question for you is who has more passing touchdowns on the season? Who has more passing touchdowns on the season? Is it Kirk Cousins or is it Carson Wentz?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is the correct answer with 21 to Carson Wentz 18. What letter would you like, J-Wall?
I'll take a T.
A T for J-Wall. No T's in either name.
No
I'm
T's.
sorry.
Wow.
So we're moving on to Josh here. Josh, would you like to solve or would you like a question?
Can't solve. Definitely can't solve.
Okay, Josh. My question for you is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently the betting odds favorites, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, to win the Super Bowl. Okay. True or false?
The
Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the betting odds favorites to win the Super Bowl, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. True or false? The Cardinals are the team with the second best odds to win the Super Bowl.
False.
That is false. It is the Kansas City Chiefs currently with the second best odds at plus 700 compared to the Bucs plus 550, but the Cardinals are third at plus 850. Josh, what letter would you like?
Oh man, that's pretty crazy. I would not guess. It makes a lot of sense. They're playing well without Kyler Murray, but I will take let's go with R again.
Another R for Josh. He's staying on the same train, and there is one R, Josh. So we're going to add $500. Would you like to buy a vowel, or would you like another question?
Give me another question.
Okay, Josh, my question for you is who had more PPR points in week 11? Who had more PPR points in week 11? Was it Adam Troutman or was it Rob Gronkowski?
Oh, so Adam Troutman had the touchdown. Rob Gronkowski had like 6 catches, no touch. It's got to be Troutman, right? Troutman.
It is Troutman, Josh. You got that one right. What letter would you like?
Give me an S.
An S for Josh. There are 2 S's here, so that'll add another 1,000. Josh, this will be your last question.
Yeah.
Because remember, we have the rule: if you get 3 right, then we move on to the next person. You bank the money. So, would you like to buy a vowel before your last question?
Yeah. Let me buy an A.
An A for Josh. There are 3 A's, so that'll be minus $300 to your score. What do we do? Another vowel, or do you want a question?
Give me. I'll buy an O.
An O. There are 2 O's, Josh. So that'll subtract 200 from your total. Would you like to solve? Would you like another question, or do you want to buy another vowel?
Give me an E.
An E. There are 2 E's here, Josh, and there are no more vowels. So that brings you down to 800. You're gonna need to decide. If you can't solve, we're gonna go to another question.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs.
You got it, Josh. Nice job. Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs, both Alabama running backs.
I knew Josh Jacobs right off the S's. And I was like, who's the other person?
Steven in here said, can I solve? Absolutely. Get in here and try to solve the puzzle, Steven.
Comments.
It is good to do it. And you know what? Javen said first, Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow. And people seem to agree there. Welcome in, Jimmy. Said new to the channel. Glad to have you here, Jimmy. JL said bonk. That's not right. We got Kevin here saying bird up. Dynasty Griff came in, got it early that Josh Jacobs was the second one, kind of like you, Josh. But then Craig was the first person to get both of them. Okay. Spelled it wrong, but then he corrected it. Javen came in and got it as well. Steven said Craig wins. Yes, he did. Nice job on that one, guys. Looks like you did it pretty well. And then Steven said, I like how sneaky that was with the exact letter count for Burrow and Chase. Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose, but Joey Burrow, that would have been really mean for me to put that one in there. Josh, so Kenyon Drake started getting a little bit more usage in this offense. Yeah. So do you view Kenyon Drake as a flex-worthy player rest of season, or how are you viewing Kenyon Drake? Is he a high-value backup that you're rostering going into the playoffs, or what?
Yeah, so Kenyon Drake has gotten more and more involved as the season went along, except, last week it was a little disappointing from a fantasy perspective. You would hope he's more involved in the passing game because that's kind of where his skill set lies. They gave him a lot of money to come here. I think he is both a person you're able to flex, an emergency flex. It's not a person I really necessarily want in my lineup, but you can throw him in there in an emergency. And if something were to happen to Josh Jacobs, I do think he would be an every week starter, more or less. I know that Peyton Barber was involved when Josh Jacobs got hurt earlier in the season. It's a little bit of a different team now. I like Drake. He should be on rosters.
Yep, I'm with you there. Guys, let's answer a couple questions before our next puzzle. J-Wall, we're going to come to you first with this one. Carlos wants to know, in flex, if Aaron Jones plays, A.J. Dillon or Devonta Freeman in that flex spot?
I think I'm going Devonta Freeman just because I like to mix things up. If I'm already playing one running back from one team, it's kind of like I wouldn't play Kenyon Drake and Josh.
Oh, I don't think he has Aaron Jones. I think he's saying like he has A.J. Dillon, but doesn't have. Yeah. But if Aaron Jones plays, would you rather play A.J. Dillon or Devonta?
I'd rather have A.J. Dillon probably. They're close, but I don't know. Just with Aaron Rodgers, you can tell he loves A.J. Dillon when he is in the game and does enjoy getting him touches. So I'll probably go A.J.
So J-Wall going A.J. Dillon here. Joey, it looked like you were nodding your head whenever you went Freeman. So are you on the Freeman side of this one?
Yeah, Freeman would be my last running back that I would say is like an RB2 this week. And Dillon, I would just say as a flex if Aaron Jones plays.
Josh, what about you?
I would go with Devonta Freeman myself.
These guys are so close to me. I'm not sure where I would go. Honestly, I might go A.J. Dillon because even if Aaron Jones plays, I don't expect them to give him a full workload this week. A.J. Dillon would probably still have an elevated role in this offense, at least for this week. Aaron Jones coming back so quickly. Rendon wants to know Barkley or Scary Terry. So I'm guessing to start this week. Jerry, we'll come to you first on this one. Which guy would you rather start?
You say Joey or J-Wall?
Joey.
Oh, I'd take Scary Terry.
Scary Terry. Josh, are you agreeing here?
Yeah, if I had to start one this week, I would be going with Scary Terry. If this is a trade question, I think I'd lean Barkley.
If it is a trade question, Joey, does that change your answer? Would you lean Barkley or are you still leaning Scary Terry?
If it's a trade question?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think Barkley's going to turn around. It's coming slow.
Yep.
want to see it first.
Yeah.
Untamed,
I'm right there with you.
Untamed Music says, if I have Eckler, Zeke, and Montgomery, should I trade Zeke for Devontae Adams? Man, I love running back depth, but that's a winning move. That is a move that could win you a fantasy championship. You're going to be shallower at running back. If Zeke or Montgomery gets injured, you're shit out of luck. You're probably not winning. But
if Eckler or Montgomery gets injured.
Yeah, sorry, Eckler or Montgomery. Yeah. This is the kind of move I love to make this kind of year or this time of year. It gives you a great chance of winning if players stay healthy. And you need some of that luck to win anyways. J-Wall, how do you feel about this one?
Oh, yeah, give me Devontae Adams all day.
Josh,
for me.
Yeah, I mean, if Eckler or Montgomery get hurt, your team's gonna hurt for it. You're probably not winning a championship with a back. Maybe Devontae Adams could sit you over the edge. I'm fine with it. Do it. Yeah, do it.
Also, Jimmy in here said, you guys have a great thing going here. I subscribed and will be tuning in from now on. Hell yeah. We're playing games every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. You can't get rid of us. We trapped J-Wall a while ago, and he's still hanging around.
I haven't missed the stream since. So.
And Jimmy also knows most of the fantasy chat 1 point PPR. I think most of the people in here are playing at least half PPR, mostly full PPR. We get a couple standard questions from time to time, but it's mostly PPR in here, guys. Are you guys ready for our next puzzle?
Yes.
Yeah.
A reminder, we're going to keep on answering questions throughout the show, but if we don't get to it, we are going to be live right after this at 4:15 Eastern time for Fantasy Football Office Hours, where you can ask any and all of your questions. We'll get to all of them. Well, I say we. I won't be there, but Josh and Joey are going to be there for sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's load the next puzzle. And Josh solved that one. So, Joey, we are coming to you.
You're give me my money.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Your mother lover.
Josh gets 1,000 for solving that one with 800 in the bank. Joey, the category here is ADP overperformer. So this is someone who has overperformed based on their ADP. Joey, would you like a question or do you want to solve the puzzle?
Give me a question.
A question?
Getting out of the chat.
Yeah.
Okay,
out of the
Joey.
chat, boys.
My question for you is true or false? True or false? The Falcons are favored by 1 point over the Jacksonville Jaguars, according to FanDuel Sportsbook.
False.
I'm sorry. The Falcons are favored by 1 point exactly over.
Well, I know where I'm putting my money this week.
Joey, that is incorrect. J-Law, we are going to move on to you here.
What side are you putting your money on? By the way, Joey. Sorry.
The Jaguars.
Okay, cool.
Falcons are awful right now.
Yeah.
It's true.
J-Wall, are you ready for your question?
Yes.
We're sticking with the same kind of question here. True or false? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored by 3 points over the Indianapolis Colts this weekend.
False.
I'm sorry. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored by exactly 3 points over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. Josh, are you ready for your question?
I am super ready.
Okay, Josh, we're coming to you with this one. We're going to stay on the same thing. I think it's only fair. True or false?
Fair.
The Green Bay Packers are favored by 1 point over the Los Angeles Rams this Sunday.
False.
I'm sorry. That is true. All three of the lines I gave were the exact lines. The Green Bay Packers are 1 point favorites over the Los Angeles Rams.
We all went with
Packers
false.
Being at home. You guys all went with false. You were all wrong. But we're moving on to the next round of questions. Joey, are you ready?
False.
Okay, that is – I'm just kidding. Joey, your question is, who has more fantasy points on the season? Who has more fantasy points on the season? Is it Joe Mixon or is it Leonard Fournette?
I'm going to go with Lenny.
I'm sorry. It is Joe Mixon with 183.3 to Leonard Fournette, 152.4. Joe Mixon is the answer there. J-Wall, are you ready for your question? We're on a cold streak, guys.
We are. We're about to clear it. Well, after J-Wall's turn,
No, yeah, I'll solve this right here. Right after questions.
Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is, who scored more PPR fantasy points in Week 11? Who scored more PPR fantasy points in Week 11? Was it Adam Thielen or was it Deebo Samuel?
I'm going to go with Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen is the correct answer there, J-Wall. Deebo Samuel had 16.4 to Adam Thielen's 22.2 fantasy points. Which letter would you like? Try to get on the board this time.
Right? I'll take the T. T failed me once. Me again.
There are two T's here.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, boo.
Leonard Fournette.
Boo.
Jay Wall solved it, and I accidentally pulled the classic move where I asked a question about the player that was in the puzzle.
Oh, I didn't
realize it either. I just saw the two teams. I was like,
Joey got a Leonard Fournette question. Jay Wall, that means you are going to bank $1,000 there. The two T's would have given you $1,000 anyways. Leonard Fournette is the answer. Jay Wall, I wanted to come to you on this one. We saw Ronald Jones getting some work in this last Bucs game. Are you worried at all that they're going to try to maybe limit Leonard Fournette's workload down the stretch here, or do you think this is still Lenny's backfield?
No, it's Lenny's backfield for sure. I know when Rojo was getting the work, I mean, the game was basically over, and they were just trying to run out the clock, and so I think they just wanted to, keep Fournette maybe just less carries, just so that for the extended game and whatnot, they don't want to give them too much. But yeah, Rojo is just kind of an afterthought unless they're up big.
I agree with you there. We had some great answers in the chat for this one. JB chose that Olamide Zaccheaus fits, but I doubt
crazy
it. Carlos got it with Leonard Fournette.
And Darrell Henderson fits too.
Darrell Henderson does fit as well. Looks like there were a lot of good guesses in here, but nice job, Carlos. It looks like you were the first person to get it.
No.
This is funny. Jason, Maria and I are watching FYF together for the first time. Weird.
That's a beautiful thing.
JL.
That's a beautiful thing.
Are you guys holding hands?
I hope so. Guys, we're going to go ahead and load up our next puzzle. And this is a week 11
look at it's all tied.
Highlight. It is a week 11 highlight. Everyone has $1,000.
Getting out of the chat.
Get out of the chat on this one. So this is a week 11 highlight. It can be anything from single player performance, game level, full league level. It's a highlight from week 11.
And
Josh,
we'll have $1,000.
You're up first in this one. Are you ready for your question?
Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay,
Being
Josh.
First in these kind of suck.
My question for you is: who has more rushing yards on the season? Who has more rushing yards on the season? Is it Jalen Hurts or is it Austin Eckler?
Oh no! Oh man, that question sucks. Jalen Hurts has like 650 rushing yards. Austin Eckler, I think he's probably lower. I'll have to go with Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is correct with 618 to Austin Eckler's 573. Josh, which letter would you like?
Give me an N.
4 N's, Josh. You're going to get $2,000 for that one. Let me go ahead and add that money to not your bank, but your cash roll over here. Josh, would you like to buy a vowel or do you want the next question?
I'll take another question.
Another question for Josh. Okay, Josh, your question here is: who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Was it Josh Jacobs or was it Myles Gaskin?
Myles Gaskin.
Myles Gaskin is the correct answer. 18.6 to Josh Jacobs, 11.1. Which letter would you like?
An R.
An R. There are no R's in this entire puzzle, Josh. And there are no R's. Joey,
I thought I was on to something here, but I definitely was not.
Joey, do you want to solve the puzzle or would you like a question?
No, I'd like a question.
You would like the question. Okay.
Yeah.
My question for you, Joey, is who has more rushing touchdowns on the season? Who has more rushing touchdowns on the season? Is it Damian Harris or is it Antonio Gibson?
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris is correct with 7 to Antonio Gibson's 5, but they were a little bit closer than I thought there. Which letter would you like, Joey?
An S is in snake.
An S as in snake. 4 S's, Joey. That is going to add. Oh, what the heck? I put that up there.
It goes away when someone guesses an incorrect letter for some reason.
Gotcha there. Well, that's your fault then, Josh. Joey, would you like to solve or do you want another question or would you like to buy a vowel?
I want to buy a vowel.
Okay, which vowel would you like?
Give me an E.
E.
Oh.
There are 5 E's. So, Joey, you are going to lose $500 for that. What would you like to do now?
Ask me a question.
Okay, my question for you is who has more receiving yards on the season? Who has more receiving yards on the season? Is it Keenan Allen or is it Marquise Brown?
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is correct with 810 to Marquise Brown 719, almost 100 receiving yards more. Which letter would you like, Joey?
T.
T. There are a lot of T's in this puzzle.
Holy crap.
So, Joey, that just added 3,000 to your score. And this would be your last question, Joey, right here. So this will be your last question that we're going into. So if you want to buy a vowel, you got to do it now. Otherwise, we're going to go into our last question. Vowel solver question.
Why can't I get that damn last word?
So, Joey, do you need another question or do you want to buy a vowel?
I want a vowel. I.
I for Joey. There are 3 I's. Oh, shoot. I accidentally. How do I fix this? I got to get you back up to 4,000. And then we're going to subtract 3 for the I's that were in there. Okay, Joey, another question, or do you want another vowel?
Did you subtract the 4 for the E's too?
Yeah, subtract the 4 for the E's. I don't want to.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so Joey, you want another question?
Yeah.
Okay, your question is, who has more PPR fantasy points total on the season? Who has more PPR fantasy points total on the season? Is it the New England Patriots defense, or is it Michael Carter?
New England Patriots defense.
It is Michael Carter. I'm sorry. I tricked you with that one, but it is kind of close. So, Joey, we are moving on to J Wall here. J Wall, do you want a question or do you want to solve?
I am dying here. I don't know why I don't know this last freaking word. It's
okay. Then we gotta go into a question.
Gosh.
Okay, J Wall, your question is, who has more receiving touchdowns on the season? Who has more receiving touchdowns on the season? Is it DK Metcalf or is it Hunter Henry?
This is such a crappy question. I'm going to go Hunter Henry.
I'm sorry. It is DK Metcalf with 8 touchdowns. That means, Josh, we are coming to you. Do you want to solve or do you want a question?
I didn't know it. I know it.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Texans upset the Titans in Nashville.
That is correct, Josh. You got it right. I tried to play around with the wording a little bit.
It took me a while to get Nashville. Like literally 15 seconds after Joey goes, I'm like, okay.
I should have bought that egg.
And they were laughing at you guys in here. Steve said none of them look like they know it. They were just going on and on. JR said, good puzzle. And Lazard said, chat going crazy. Yeah, the chat went absolutely
There's 48 comments that I missed.
Yeah, they went nuts. Andrew, who was the first one? Andrew came in and said the Texans upset the Titans. JB Cho said in Nashville. And then Andrew was the first one to put it all together. But it looks like JB Cho was the one who figured out the trick in this one first. Steven coming in with last word is Nashville. You guys worked together and nailed that one. Nice job solving that puzzle.
We're not allowed to work together on this show.
Oh, they're allowed to work together.
To be honest with you guys, I knew the blank upset the Titans in blank, but I couldn't get Texans for some reason. I was like, what team is that? It said like TENS. I was blanking for some reason.
Steven said the chat knew 5 minutes before any of you, LOL. And JL saying dinguses, midnight saying finally. And Jay saying the chat wins. Yes, the chat does win. Carlos saying these guys should forfeit all their points. Yeah, you know what? We'll just start fresh at 0 down here.
No, give me my points. I want them.
I'll start at 0.
Hey, Joey, are y'all from Nashville? Because you're the only 10 I see. Except this says 10 Sissy. You spelled Tennessee wrong. You got it wrong down there, but that's okay. Guys, we're going to move on to our next puzzle here real quick. And this puzzle is NFL TV show mashup. So this could be a player, a team, a coach combined with a TV show in some way. An example, last time we did an NFL movie mashup last time I hosted, and it was the Las Vegas Raiders of the Lost Ark. So it could follow a similar format. It may be a little bit different, but I think you guys will figure this one out. So make sure you guys are out of the chat because I have a feeling the chat is on it today. They are working together. They're going to get it right.
I have a feeling Joey's going to win this puzzle.
And give me my money.
I don't know TV. I don't watch TV.
Okay. That's good.
Just
so Josh solved that last puzzle correctly first, I believe. So Joey, we are coming to you for the first question. Are you ready?
My money.
Money, yeah.
Give him his money.
Yep, you're right. There you
He
go,
doesn't want
Josh.
to. I know he doesn't want to.
Josh is taking the lead right now with $2,000 on that last one. Joey, are you ready for your question?
Yep.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who has more PPR points on the season so far? Who has more PPR points on the season so far? Is it Devontae Adams or is it Ezekiel Elliott?
Adams.
It is Adams. Adams is the correct answer. Which letter would you like, Joey?
Give me an H.
An H? You got 2 H's here. So, Joey, that'll add $1,000. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
What if I don't have enough money for all the vowels?
You have enough money for every vowel in there. or to buy a vowel. There's no one with 10. I'm not even sure there's enough letters for all of it to go at 100.
Give me an E. Give me an E.
There is 1 E, so you definitely had enough for that one.
Okay.
Would you like to buy another vowel or would you like another question?
I want another question.
Okay, another question for Joey. Okay, my question for you, Joey, is who has more receiving yards on the season so far? Who has more receiving yards on the season so far? Is it Deontay Johnson or is it Travis Kelce?
Jeez, these are brutal.
Johnson.
It is Travis Kelce with 821 to Deontay Johnson 714, so a little over 100 more there.
Yards.
Yeah, it's a ton for Travis Kelce. J-Wall, are you ready for your question? Or do you want to solve?
No, I'm ready for the question.
Okay, J-Wall. My question for you is who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Was it Dawson Knox or was it Dallas Goedert? Knox is the correct answer with 14 to Dallas Goedert's 11. That one was a little closer than I like to make it. I apologize for that. But you got it right anyways. Which letter would you like, J-Wall?
Tee him up.
There are 2 T's here, so that will give you $1,000. Would you like to buy a vowel, solve the puzzle, or have another question?
Give me another question.
Another question for J-Wall. Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is, who has more passing touchdowns on the season? Who has more passing touchdowns on the season? Is it Matthew Stafford or is it Derek Carr?
You're probably trying to triple reverse trick me here. I got to go with Stafford.
It is Stafford with 24 to Derek Carr's 16. You didn't fall for the double trick, J-Wall. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an S.
An S. There are no S's in this puzzle. I'm sorry. So we are moving on to Josh. Josh, would you like to solve or do you want a question?
I do not know what this is.
Do not go in the chat because I'll tell you someone just freaking got
no,
it.
not
I got too
touching
excited.
it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give it away there. Josh, you want your question?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to go back to the FanDuel Sportsbook for this one. We're going to go back to the FanDuel Sportsbook. So, Josh, my question for you is, which one of these is more likely according to the FanDuel Sportsbook? Which one of these is more likely? Mm-hmm. Ezekiel Elliott to have 100-plus combined rushing and receiving yards and score at least one touchdown.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so 100 combined yards and a touchdown, or have overtime in any of the Thanksgiving games.
No, I know this.
What's more likely?
Which one has the better odds according to the FanDuel Sportsbook?
I'm going to go with Zeke here.
Zeke is the answer at plus 250 odds. Overtime is plus 480 for any of the Thanksgiving games on FanDuel. Nice job, Josh. Which letter would you like?
I forgot I had to choose the letter. Let's go with an R.
An R for Josh. There is one R here. That'll add 500 to your score. Would you like to buy a vowel?
Oh, I know what it is. I want to solve. I want to solve. Let's go. The Tom Brady bunch.
I hate this.
Nice job. You got it, Josh. The Tom Brady bunch is the answer.
It to you.
J-Wall texting it to me, showing that he got it. But
Tom Brady came to me, and I was like, Brady what? Brady what? Okay.
People were guessing in the chat, trying to work on it. JB Cho said the 2. Dynasty Griff said the 10 rings. JB Cho said question mark. And then finally, JR came in and said the Tom Brady bunch. Nailed it there. Josh, I'm going to go ahead and give you your money so I do not forget on
Thank
that one.
Appreciate
Nice
it.
job getting that one right. I think we'll have time for a couple more puzzles. Before we go in there, Swamp said, "Who dat?" And happy Thanksgiving, assuming y'all won't be live tomorrow. We will not be live tomorrow, Swamp, unfortunately. But
me and Jordan will be.
You and Jordan are going to be live?
Yeah, we'll be live for you guys.
Nice.
I'm about it.
And JL said, nice job, Josh, giving it to you right there. And Jimmy congratulating JR on the good call. That was impressive, JR. That was a good pull. At midnight saying this is fun. I'm glad you're having fun. We enjoy playing these games as well.
And if anyone has any questions, because we will not be live tomorrow, we will be having an office hours after the show at 4:15 today. Come in and ask any of your fantasy related questions, whatever questions you may have going into this week. Let's go.
Yep. Let's go ahead and load up another puzzle. Give Joey and J-Wall a chance to catch up to Josh here. And this puzzle is one of Josh's favorites that he comes up with.
Yeah.
This is former teammates. So these are players that played together formerly and now are on different teams.
In the NFL, correct?
In the NFL, yes. They were not former teammates in college. They were former teammates in the NFL, and now they are playing on different teams.
Yeah. Perfect. And
okay, Joey, we are starting with you. Would you like to
chat?
solve or would you
chat.
like a question? A question. Okay, one moment here. Okay, Joey, your question is, who has more PPR fantasy points on the season? Who has more PPR fantasy points on the season?
Mm-hmm.
Is it TJ Hawkinson or is it Dalton Schultz?
Dalton Schultz.
It is TJ Hawkinson.
No, it's not.
17.
I'm a little surprised by that myself.
To Dalton Schultz, 111.1. This was way closer. I didn't mean to make it that close, Joey.
It's 2 points.
It's 6 points. That was really shitty of me.
I can't do math either.
I read the 111 as 101 first.
Make it a difficult round, At
least 20 there. Yeah. So maybe we're getting hard questions all around.
I meant to miss it. So it's okay.
J-Wall, are you ready for your question?
Yep.
Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is who has more PPR fantasy points on the season so far? Who has more PPR fantasy points on the season so far? Is it Justin Jefferson or is it Jamar Chase?
Ooh.
Jefferson.
It is Jefferson. They are back to back, but Jefferson has 11 more points than him. I'm giving close ones this round because I screwed Joey on that, but J-Wall got through it anyways. What is the letter you would like, J-Wall?
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with a T.
T.
A T. There is one T, J-Wall. So you add 500 to your score. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like another question? What would you like to do here?
Let's just do another question.
Okay. True or false? The Ravens are favorites to win the AFC North according to FanDuel Sportsbook.
I'm trying to think who's even in that division. I'll say true.
That is true. They're the only team. They're minus 155. The Browns and Bengals are both at plus 400 there. J-Wall, which letter would you like?
It's a big discrepancy.
Let's do let's do an N.
An N. There are two N's, adding $1,000. And J-Wall, this will be your last question. So this right here is your last opportunity to buy a vowel if you would like one.
Yes, let's buy an E.
Oh, oops, I showed the answer. Dang it. Sorry.
You fooled me for a second, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, Simon, no.
What letter are you buying, J-Wall?
An E. Unless there are no E's, then I'll buy an A.
There are 3 E's, J-Wall, so that will subtract 300. Would you like to buy another vowel, or would you like another question?
I will buy an A.
An A. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's.
Oh, I hate this.
Wait, why
I got it. Okay.
J-Wall, another question, another vowel. We gotta.
I'm trying to think about what vowel I want.
We gotta hurry. What's it gonna be?
I'll do a. I'll just say another question.
Okay, another question for J-Wall. Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is who has more passing yards on the season so far? Who has more passing yards? Is it Ryan Tannehill or is it Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
It is Ryan Tannehill with
Good.
200 more passing yards
I am
than Lamar
so
Jackson.
Surprised. I'm
Ryan
so
Tannehill has more passing yards. Josh, that means we are coming to you now. And J-Wall, unfortunately, you did not get to
are yet.
So you need a question?
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I should know that first person, but
just stop looking at it. Don't look at it anymore.
Okay, Josh, my question for you is, who has more PPR fantasy points so far on the season? Who has more PPR fantasy points so far on the season? Is it Chris Godwin or is it Terry McLaurin?
Oh, yikes. I'll go with Chris Godwin.
It is Chris Godwin. Josh, which letter would you like?
I'll take S.
An S. And you get 3 S's there. That will add 1,500 over here. Josh,
okay.
What would you like to do?
I think I know it.
No.
It's all.
Yeah, I do know it. They were definitely teammates. Emmanuel Sanders and Latavius Murray.
Oh you solved it, Josh. Nice job adding that 1,500 to your bank, building out your lead even more here.
I was like, had to think. I was like, were they teammates? But yeah, with the
New Orleans, yeah.
JL says, why does Josh open his mouth when he closes his eyes? JR saying, great puzzle, and it looks like we got some people in here getting it. Dan got it. Sanders and Latavius Murray. JR got Sanders, and then Albert came in with Latavius Murray. JL said Spoon Bobs, Kunarep, and Patrick Starr.
Hey, it fits, bro.
That was the other puzzle. But that was so close, JL, on that one. So close. And JB Cho says they were teammates in New Orleans, right? Yeah. And I will admit, I purposely made this one a little bit tricky. Those aren't necessarily the teams you think of when you think of these players, right? You don't think of the Saints right away when you think of these players, but they both played together on the Saints, and now they have gone their separate ways. I
like it.
Guys, we can try to squeeze one more puzzle in if you would like, or we can call it and give it to Josh. You want to fit one more puzzle in? Let's do it. Let's pull up one more.
I mean, yeah.
Let's make this one with 5,000 points.
It can be. It's a season highlight one. There's a lot going on here. And Joey, we're going to start with you yet again. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
False. Yeah, give me a question. Question, please.
Okay. Joey, my question for you is true or false? The Buffalo Bills are favored to win the AFC East according to FanDuel Sportsbook.
True.
That is true. They're at minus 165 compared to the Patriots, who are the next closest at plus 120. So it's actually the Patriots are sneaking up there. It's getting closer and closer each week. But Joey, which letter would you like?
T, as in Tom.
T as in Tom. There are 2 T's, adding $1,000. Joey, would you like to buy a vowel or would you like another question?
I want a vowel. I want an E.
Joey wants an E here. There are 3 E's. That'll subtract 300 from your total. Would you like to buy another vowel or would you like a question?
A.
An A?
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 A's. So that is bringing you down $400 to $300. Would you like a question? Do you want to solve? What are you doing here?
I want a question.
Okay. Who has more rushing yards on the season? Who has more rushing yards on the season? Is it Darrell Henderson or is it Javonte Williams?
Darrell Henderson.
Darrell Henderson has 593 to Javonte Williams 514. So it was a bit closer than I thought it was there. Joey, which letter would you like?
Yeah, that is close.
S as in snake.
There are 5 S's.
Hold on.
And I put a dirty word on the board. Hooray!
Asses.
To asses as to sit. Yeah. Let me look at this.
See? So Joey, would you like to solve? This is going to be your last question. So you can buy another vowel. You can solve. But after this question, you will have to try to solve the puzzle.
I want a vowel. I want an O.
Okay, Joey's going to buy an O. There are 4 O's in this puzzle, so that'll subtract 400 from you here. What are you going to do, Joey? Do you want a question? Do you want to buy another vowel?
I want a question. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my question for you, Joey, is who scored more PPR fantasy points in Week 11? So this is just in Week 11. Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Jalen Waddle or was it Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore had 29.6 to Jalen Waddle's 20.6. So they both had good games, but Moore is the answer. Which letter would you like?
P.
P. There are 4 P's, Joey.
Holy
so that
crap.
is going to add all of that money. Oh my God.
Okay.
How much time do I have to solve?
5 seconds. You got 5 seconds to solve. You get the money regardless. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no.
Okay, Joey, we are going to bank it. I'm sorry, the buzzer has passed. We gave you the 4,400, putting you within 100 of Josh.
Oh.
So if it gets back to you, J-Wall, we are on to you. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
Got to get a question.
Okay, J-Wall needs a question here. So J-Wall, my question for you is who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 11? Was it Devontae Adams or was it Marquez Valdes-Scantling?
Adams.
It was Adams with 30.5 to MVS's 22.3. I thought the big game might have thrown you off. What letter would you like?
Good letter.
R.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. For you, J-Wall, that's going to add 2,000. What would you like to do here? Do you want to solve? Do you want another question?
Another question.
Another question for J-Wall. Okay, J-Wall, my question for you is who has more receiving yards so far on the season? Who has more receiving yards so far on the season? Is it Mark Andrews or is it Jalen Waddle?
I can't do it.
Waddle.
I'm sorry. It is Mark Andrews who has more receiving yards so far. So, Josh, do you know the answer, Josh?
Wrap up the show. Taylor passes Cup as top scorer overall.
Josh, an exclamation point on today's game. Joey tried to come back there at the last second, getting $4,400 on one puzzle. But Joey, I'm sorry you came up just short on that one. Nice win, Josh. And Maria said, how hard will Joey cry after the camera turns on?
I'm close. I'm really close.
I am also. The worst thing that could have happened today is losing to Josh.
Yes.
I beat him so bad in every week that we have. Like, I'm just so used to winning. You know,
I needed that. I needed something on camera of me beating J-Wall. Now it's locked in. All right.
Oh, but my money locked in, right?
Yeah.
So I came in second.
You came in second. Yep.
J-Wall, you lost.
Guys, real quick before we jump, this is a good segue into what we're doing next. So up next is Fantasy Football Office Hours, where Josh and Joey are going to be answering all of your questions that you bring in. We'll answer this one real quick before we jump. Jamin said Ceedee or DK this week. Joey, where are you going with these two players? If Ceedee plays, are you starting Ceedee or DK?
Yeah, so if Ceedee plays,
it's a close.
I'm gonna actually play DK, even if Ceedee plays. Yeah,
J-Wall, what do
I
you
like
think?
that matchup for DK Metcalf a lot.
Yeah, I'll go DK too.
And Josh?
DK.
It's a unanimous DK here. Guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Reminder before you leave, if you have not followed J-Wall on Twitter, go follow him at JWall_FF and make sure you're checking out the awesome content he's putting out with 360 Fantasy. You can find him on YouTube at 360 Fantasy. It's J-Wall's beautiful face giving you beautiful analysis, so you do not want to miss out on that. And bring your questions over to Office Hours right after this, where we will be answering them for you guys. Until then, though, that's going to be it for us today. Josh, there was something you were telling me right before we started the show.
Makes fantasy fun.
That's going to be it for us today, guys. Adios, everyone.
See ya.